and welcome to the Major Remix. My name is Maya McIntosh, and today we will be delving into the biomedical science major with guests Dr. Hare and Emily Morgan. And later, with the minor mix, we will be looking into the theater minor with Nicole Lee and guest Cassidy Stearman. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. I'm here with guest Dr. Hare. Dr. Hare, how are you today?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
That's good. Before we get started today with the interview, we have prepared a segment for you. And in this segment, we asked a few students what they think the biomedical science major is. Let's take a look.
I would say the biomedical sciences major helps prepare people for a career in the medical field, maybe as a doctor or a physician assistant or something like that.
It would cover biology in the context of medicine.
I think it has to do with like medicine, anyone that wants to be a doctor, a lot of biology classes.
I would just assume that's people probably going to medical school. I would guess, people like pre-dental and stuff like that.
It's a combination of biology, chemistries, and just natural sciences that come together, and they prepare the average student for medical school.
I think the biomedical science major is taking the science of biology but putting it more into medical terms and everything like that, so applying it to research in like hospitals and stuff.
It's a high incoming job, so it's career-wise very good.
Medicine of biology.
Well, I know the biomedical science major can get you jobs like in the medicine, and it can get you into schools like dentistry or pharmacy school and a bunch of like medicine schools, I guess.
Yeah, I think the biomedical sciences major is probably one of the best to get into right now. I don't think that any sort of health jobs are going anywhere, so I think it's a really solid opportunity that you can do and a really good pathway to get into a good job.
Right. So what do you think of the responses? Were they pretty accurate or were they a little off?
Oh, I think they're pretty accurate. I heard a variety of students say that you could do a whole bunch of different things with the biomedical sciences major, which is true. They talked about getting into medicine, jobs, doing research, being a doctor, being a pharmacist, a physician assistant, and there's a lot of different paths that students can take. So I thought that was pretty good. I also noticed that they talked about studying some other science fields as well, not just biology, but some other areas like chemistry to help you learn, and that was really great.
Right. So how would you, after seeing that and everything, how would yourself define the biomedical sciences?
The biomedical sciences are, again, a very wide range of topics that apply biology and chemistry, math, to health, especially. We're talking about medicine, biomedicine. So what our students take a wide variety of courses, and then they get to choose a lot of their electives. So that's what's really nice. Two different people can be taking the same major, but they can take slightly different paths through it, and then go different paths in their life, depending on what they've chosen to study.
Right. So going off that real quick, I also have a few friends in the major, and like you were saying, there are many paths. What are some of the paths like a student could be looking at when getting into it? Like, what are some of the different pathways they could find?
Sure, yeah. Some of the really popular things students like to do are attend a professional school, we call it, after graduation. So they want to be a dentist or a pharmacist or a physical therapist or an occupational therapist, a medical doctor, so many different things. You need another 4 years or 3 or 4 years of education. So we do really well at preparing those students to get into those schools after they graduate. That's what a lot of students are interested in. Some students like to go into research laboratories and do research and get paid. They like to work for pharmaceutical companies. Some students go to graduate school for a master's degree or a PhD after. So those are some of the more common tracks that people like to go.
All right. So what do you hope with students who walk away from this major, what do you hope that they kind of take with them?
I think it's probably obvious that they've learned a lot of biology and like how do living things work. We want them to know that. But we also want them to know that we're always updating our knowledge because people are always doing more science, more scientific experimentation. They learn how to do that in their lab courses, and they should know that that's a really important and valuable thing that science does for society.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us about that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was good to be here.
All right. We'll be right back with Emily Morgan right after the break.
I'm Elise Akers, and I am the MSU 4PAWS president. This is my first semester as president. So MSU 4PAWS is an organization here on campus, and we actually work directly out of the nonprofit organization called 4PAWS for Ability. Our main goal is to socialize the dogs, so take them anywhere and everywhere we go, show them that the world isn't scary, introduce them to all different kind of things that they'll see as a service dog. You know, our dogs make lasting impacts on everyone, and they're able to place with children who truly need them. So kind of just being able to make that huge impact is something really special.
Hi friends, welcome to the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music at Morehead State University.
Give us a call, drop by, or seek out your faculty advisor, and we look forward to you joining us for some music here at the KCTM.
Welcome back. I'm here with student guest and biomedical science student Emily Morgan. Emily, did you get a chance to see the video?
I did.
How do you think they did with that? How accurate do you think they were?
I think they were pretty accurate. I thought some of them were really funny with how they said just biology and medicine as if combining the two words. You know, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, for the most part, it was really accurate. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So with being in this program, is the work a lot of hands-on work, or is it more like by the book and lectures, or what do you kind of see while taking these classes?
It's a bit of both. So we have lecture and lab. Most of our science courses have labs accompanied with them. Sometimes they'll count for their own separate credit, or they'll be mixed in with the lecture credit. Just depends on the professor sometimes. But most of the chemistry labs coincide with lecture, same as the biology labs coincide with biology lectures, and both are really necessary. I personally prefer the labs over lecture. I love the hands-on part, but we get a pretty equal mix of both.
Okay, so with the lab work and stuff like that, I know you said you kind of prefer the hands-on work. Mm-hmm. What kind of labs do you and others get to participate in?
We get to do all kinds of labs. I know from last semester, my favorite chemistry lab I did was we got to make an oscillating reaction, that basically switches colors back and forth. It goes from light gold to dark blue and back to gold. And it's amazing if you do it right because it's very fast. The reaction's so fast. And then in biology lab, I got to actually take a sample of my own cheek cells and basically replicate them thousands of times in a PCR machine. And so I got to see if I had a mutation in one of my genes. You know, just a random Wednesday, I got to see if I had a mutation. It was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Was there anything walking into this major that maybe you and other students didn't really expect to see, or may not be really widely talked about with the biomedical sciences?
I think for the most part, what I would say that we didn't really expect, at least for me anyway, was that they describe it as if it's going to all kind of be thrown at you at once. But one of the really good things about MSU is that they split it up into each semester so you're not overloaded with chemistry and biology. So like last semester I had biology 171 in lab and then chemistry 111 in lab. And that kind of, that was about as much as I could handle, and they know that, so they didn't put anything else on you. The biomed major isn't as terrible as people say it is. It's not as hard. It just takes a lot of effort.
Okay. Any final tips that you have for any students thinking about going into this?
For starters, some of the classes in your first semester, they're considered the weed out classes. That is meant to scare you, but those that push through anyway get the most out of it, and it's so worth it to push through. If you know ahead of time that they're kind of trying to see if you can do it, then you can kind of, out of spite, push through anyway, and get to that point where you feel like you're comfortable in the major, and it's so worth it to be comfortable in it. And your professors will work with you. They all work with you, and not all of them want you to succeed, and that they're not going to, be light on you. They're gonna push you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you for coming to get interviewed about the biomedical sciences. All right. When we get back, we'll be with Nick for the minor mix right after this.
Do you want more energy?
Hi, I'm Dwayne the Rex Johnson. When I want to get in shape, I go to the Rex Center.
Here, you can catch up on your cardio. Pick up a bit of weight. Yoga. Work the machines, and I don't mean your bodies. Recreation. So get healthy, be happy.
In the center of Morehead State is the Claypool Young Art Building. This building is home to the university arts like web design, studio arts, fine arts, and more. On the second floor, there is a working art gallery. And this gallery is open to students to enjoy the art and some quiet during their workday. Located all over the building and along the hallways, there are student-made displays. Head over and check it out.
Hey, it's Nick with the Minor Mix. I'm here with my guest Cassidy, and Cassidy is in the theater minor. So tell me a little bit about the theater minor.
So the theater minor is mainly mixed up of technical theater with just a little bit of acting. It's, with lights, set, costumes, being able to make your own outfits, which I thought was really fun. Play directing, which was probably my favorite class that I've taken. And voice and articulation to help with the acting side. But yeah, it's mainly just technical-based theater.
So you really love theater. I can see that.
Oh, I love theater.
yes. So is that why you chose this minor?
Originally, yes. I was theater education before I changed my major to convergent media because I realized education wasn't really for me. So I thought after working in the radio station my freshman year, I was like, I kind of want to do that. So I tried it out, I changed my major, and I fell in love with convergent media. But I also have always had a passion for theater ever since I was a child, and I've been watching shows growing up. So I knew I still wanted to do that. And the best thing about theater is you don't need a degree to do what we do. You need experience and you need talent. And so I knew that if I kept the minor and I kept doing stuff in the department, I could still grow my resume. And if I needed a little bit of a backup plan, I could still do that.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you're a convergent media major. How does this minor complement that major?
Since it's all technical theater, and I can use that through TV sets have their own sets. They have light designers that they also need. We use the same equipment, same lights. And there's also costumes, or if I wanted to be on screen like now. It helps with that as well. And so I could incorporate all the tech that I have learned and use it. So if I wanted to design lights for a TV show one day, I could use what I learned in the theater department here.
Okay, well thank you. You can look at the information behind me if you're interested in the minor, and we'll be right back with mine, the major mix.
for joining us on this week of the Major Remix. If you are interested in learning more about the biomedical science major, contact 606-783-2945 or BIOC at moreheadstate.edu. We'll be back next week and hope to see you then.